Hey, beautiful soul. If saying no gives you anxiety, guilt, or a full-on shame spiral, you're not alone. I'm Jen Anderson, boundaries and belief specialist, and today I'm going to give you real talk and real tools for saying no without feeling like a terrible person. Because saying no doesn't make you rude, selfish, or mean. It really makes you clear. It makes you self-respecting. And honestly, it makes you more trustworthy. Let that sink in. When you tell people authentically what you can do and cannot do, are available for and are not available for, it's sending a clear message. It's telling them how to treat you. It makes you respect yourself and it makes them trust you more. That's what we want. So let's dive into the mindset and the scripts that will help you honor yourself without drowning in guilt. So why we feel guilty saying no. We're taught from a young age, especially as women, that being good means being helpful, agreeable, and selfless. So when you try to say no, your brain fires up this alarm system that says, wait, they'll think I don't care. I'm letting them down. They'll be mad. Or worse, they'll leave, or they'll never talk to me again. But in reality, every yes you give out of guilt is a no to yourself. And that's the kind of self-abandonment that leads to burnout, resentment, and losing touch with what you actually need, the woman you are actually trying to be. That's why this is so important. If you feel resentment, or you feel burnt out and you're tired all the time, or you don't even know who you are, look at where your boundaries are being crossed. What are you saying yes to that you need to be saying no to? Where are you taking away from here and giving to everyone else, but you're not replenishing this? Your guilt doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're healing. It doesn't mean you're a bad daughter, friend, partner, or employee, or even a parent if you have guilt because you said no to something. It means you're doing something new. You're disrupting a pattern that has kept you safe for probably years, but it also kept you playing really small. And your nervous system, it's still catching up. So that twinge of guilt is just a signal from your past self saying, hey, is it safe to choose myself this time? And your healing self gets to reply, yes, we're safe now. It's okay to choose me. So let's look at those limiting beliefs and reframe a few right now, okay? So the old belief, if I say no, I'm being selfish. The new belief, saying no allows me to show up fully and honestly in the places that matter most. So it's not being selfish. It's allowing you to be fully present in the moments that matter most, and you're not spreading yourself too thin. Old belief, they'll be upset with me. New belief, their emotions are theirs to manage. My boundary is not a betrayal, it's an act of clarity. If somebody gets angry with you for setting a healthy, empowering boundary, and doing something that is good for you, and they get angry, that's their problem. They need to do the work. They need to figure out what emotion is coming up and triggering, that this is triggering for them. This is their problem, not yours. You're being clear. You're letting them know what you can do. Don't own their emotional garbage, because it's not yours to own, it's theirs. This is something we work on all the time. This is just something that we all deal with, and we just keep working on it. But this is huge in my coaching, because so many women, especially women, men deal with it too, don't get me wrong, but especially women, we take on everyone else's emotional garbage like it's ours to fix, and it is not. Let that go. Be a happier person. Okay, I'm off my soapbox for that one. So the third old belief, I always say yes, I should do it. But the new belief is, I don't owe anyone access to my time, energy, or emotional labor on autopilot. Just because you've said yes in the past doesn't mean it's your turn again. Maybe it's time for them to figure out how to do some things for themselves. Maybe it's time for them to find somebody else to help them. We don't have to do the same thing for everyone all the time. And let me be really clear on this. If you want to do it and it doesn't cross any of your boundaries and it doesn't feel icky to you to say yes, then by all means say yes. We still are a loving society and we want to help others. So if doing something for someone else is what needs to be done and you're good with it, by all means say yes, as long as it's not taking away from you and what you need. Does that make sense? I hope you guys are getting this. So pause this video, write those down, say them out loud. Heck, tattoo them on your soul if needed. But make sure you understand those 3 old beliefs and the new beliefs that go with them, because those are very broad and they cover a wide spectrum, and they're going to help you in the future. So you might be thinking, well, how am I going to know what boundary script to use? How am I going to know what to say? I got you covered in a couple of ways. First of all, I have I have some right now that I'm going to give you. And then secondly, I made you a little easy worksheet that is down in the show notes, and you can get access to that. So, and if you can't find it, let me know. Just send me an email and I'll send it to you. So you have a whole list of boundary scripts. But script number 1 is the simple no. Thanks for thinking of me. I'm not available for that right now. It's clear, it's clean, and it's kind. I'm not available. No, thank you. No, thank you is a complete sentence. I cannot do that right now. Perfect. So script 2 is the redirect. That's not something I can take on, but I hope it goes great for you. No over-explaining, no guilt sandwich, just truth plus support. You don't have to give them all of the reasons why you can't do it. They don't need any of that. As a matter of fact, that typically makes them push harder to get you to help. Well, you're doing this for so-and-so, you could just skip them and come do mine. Or, you give them all these reasons and they're going to come up with things. And so let's talk about that repeat offender boundary. I've mentioned that I'm not available for that, and that hasn't changed. Please respect that. This is one for when you've already said no and they do keep pushing. You could also, if you have to get a little firmer, you can also take it a step further and still be kind. You're not being mean, you're being firm. And you can say, I said no. I appreciate it if you would respect that. And if you can't, I'm done with this conversation. And you get to walk away. You don't have to continue to listen to them badger you, no matter who that person is. It doesn't end the relationship. It doesn't mean that you hate them. It means you're no longer in the business of putting up and taking their garbage. They don't get to dump on you anymore. Okay. So remember, every time you choose discomfort in the short term, you build long-term trust with yourself. If this episode hit home and you're ready to stop abandoning yourself to make others comfortable, hit that subscribe button. This channel is your space for belief shifts, boundary scripts, and unapologetic personal growth. As I said a little bit ago, for watching this, I've added a link in the show notes to my top 10 scripts. So it's Say No Without Guilt, my top 10 scripts you can copy and use today. And if you're ready to go deeper, book a free Pathfinder call and let's chat about what boundaries can do for your life, how we could make those shifts starting today. Remember, belief plus boundaries equals bliss. Shifting limiting beliefs, just reframing them, setting healthy, empowering boundaries, mixing those two things together, will help you to find your true bliss, your peace in life. Say no without guilt and say yes to yourself. You've got this.